Hi there, welcome back to Jana Eats. Thank you for joining me. It's the gluten and dairy-free channel on YouTube, but the food is so delicious. It is food for all. No one will ever miss gluten or the dairy. So I'm going to play around with an ingredient called Aquafaba. Aquafaba has kind of been everywhere for the last couple years, and what it is, it's the juice, that's right, the juice from your garbanzo bean can. And what it does is it whips up into this frothy mixture. And I have seen everything from like meringue cookies to like mayonnaise, just like this. So I'm going to start, and it calls for, this recipe calls for half a cup of Aquafaba, which is about exactly what the can holds. And so we'll do half a cup of that. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. I used organic red wine vinegar. It also calls for half a teaspoon of salt. I love this high mineral premier pink salt. It's got so much more nutritive value than even a sea salt. And it does work best in things that aren't heated, so this is a perfect application for it. I'm going to add just a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Take this lid off. Whoop. So, and then it does call for a teaspoon of cream of tartar, which I'm sure will help give it some lift. One ingredient that I'm going to put in here that I have found is this Trader Joe's multi-purpose Umami seasoning blend. And it's got mushroom powder in it, salt, mustard seed, red pepper, black pepper, dried thyme. It's really delicious, and it is an umami bomb. And I could just sort of taste it in here, so I'm going to, what the heck, I'm going to throw it in. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon in here. And the recipe also calls for some agave. It says a half a tablespoon. So, and then the other thing too is it calls for Dijon. Well, of course I didn't have any Dijon, but I'm almost out of this is really delicious. Toasted shallot mustard. So it calls for a teaspoon, and I've got just about a teaspoon in here. So it's kind of, I love using up the last of my jars. Okay, so this calls for an immersion blender. So I whipped out my immersion blender. The thing about immersion blenders is be careful, there is no guard on this. So if I am not using it, like right now, it is unplugged. And I'll plug it in because there's no safety stop on it. So it says to blend it until it's whipped to soft peaks, and then we're gonna add 2 cups. I'm going to use avocado oil. I get it at Costco. You can use olive oil, would be a great use for it too. So here we go. It's whipping all over me. I'm going to do it in a blender because that thing is spraying all over me. See, this is Hollywood, people. Hollywood. You notice I unplugged this thing. Right? Safety first. Okay, so we're going to switch this. It is kind of frothing already, which is interesting to me. I really, honest to God, I've never done this. So, you know, we're doing it together, you and me. So it says to blend it. So I'll blend it on low. Let's just turn this on low. You know what? You didn't have to whip it in the beginning and look for peaks. I just blend that stuff together. Holy cow. It worked, and it's delicious. It's really good. Can you see that? And I'm so glad I added that umami powder. So just throw it into a blender. I'll write the recipe out exactly how it's supposed to go. You've done it with me. We can put it in our baby books. my first Aquafaba journey. Mom, are you watching? I hope so. Have you subscribed, Mom? Anyway, yeah, make some. It's delicious. Add that oil really slowly. So those of you that are egg sensitive, here's a delicious alternative, and you can have mayonnaise now. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. It really helps me a lot and enables me to make more of these videos. And I'll see you next week with another delicious, nutritious, food for all recipe on Jana Eats. Thank you.